Today we are doing some more topical videos on a hard question that I'm sure a lot of people are asking out there, and it's help. My loved one or my teenager is addicted to drugs or alcohol. What do I do now? And so for this one, we added, I want to help them, but what do I do if I have no money or no insurance to be able to help my loved one out? So again, my name's Justin. I was a 15-year drug addict, got over 10 years clean and sober. I made it my life's mission to help people that were stuck in the same pit of hell that I was, addicted to drugs, alcohol, and we've helped out over thousands of people from between mentoring, sponsoring people, also our nonprofit organization, our weekly recovery meetings that we have. And so I love to be able to help people on this subject, and especially for the family members. We get so many calls from family members that I would assume, such as yourself, maybe you're stuck, you're in your house, you don't want the neighbors to know, you don't know where to even reach out to, where to begin to help them. And so we hope that these videos help you to be able to help that person that you care so much about. And so maybe even watch the last video. I encourage you to go back on our channel. We're going to unpack a lot of these different options to get you as much information as possible. But maybe you watched the last video and you made some phone calls. You called some of the long-term programs up, or the rehabs that wanted $30,000 or the top-notch insurance to be able to help your loved one or teenager out. And you're like, what do I do now? I don't have that kind of money, and we don't have insurance. So I wanted to go over what are some free options to be able to help your loved one out. For most addicts, right, we get to the point where we've used everyone around us, we've hustled, we've stolen, we've done all kinds of crimes, and I would assume that no addict that's at their rock bottom really has a dollar to their name. I would assume that's, where most people find themselves at. So I know for me, and a lot of people we help, the person doesn't have any money, they don't have any insurance, so what do they do now? So the first thing we mentioned last video also is a detox. So check with your county. I can only tell you about Manatee County and Sarasota County. Manatee County has Centerstone. Sarasota County has First Step. Check with your county and your state, but most counties have a government-ran detox to be able to get your loved one in. And as long as, they are homeless and they're letting them know that, they will take them in with $0 and no insurance. So that's a great place to start, is to encourage your loved one or help them to get into your local detox facility. It's a medically, ran spot that they're going to help them through those withdrawal symptoms. They're going to give them medical treatments to be able to help them through the first 3 or 7 days of not having any drugs or alcohol. So not only is that a great place to start the recovery process, but it is going to be free, provided that, they say that they're homeless and they don't have any type of insurance. Next is an organization to be able to help your loved one out from that point forward. So Hand Up to Victory is our nonprofit organization that we have, and we help people that are coming out of the detox, coming off of the streets, coming out of jail, that want to make that change, but unfortunately they have no one to help them out. They don't have any of the funds or resources to start that journey. And so that's what we do, is we help people out with the financial side of things. Again, unfortunately, that's only for Manatee and Sarasota counties. So, I hope that there's possibly some organization that's doing something similar in the area where you live. And typically that's going to be that start to a sober living house is another option that we talked about. But let's just go with long-term programs first. So like we had explained in the other video, long-term program, it's a place that's typically from 6 months to 2 years that your loved one can go to. There's going to be care provided for them there at that facility. They're going to have different ways of introducing recovery meetings, introducing ways for your loved one to, stay sober, and give them tools, the 12 steps. For those, there are some out there that actually don't charge your loved one for this service. So this is a big deal here. I mean, we're talking these places with that length of stay could easily be $150,000, $200,000. But there are ones out there that actually care about people and that they have the resources to be able to help someone that's in a homeless situation, that has no money, that doesn't have any insurance. Again, maybe if you're local and you see in this video, video, maybe respond in the comments to us. We'll try to get back with you and, give you some different options that are out there locally. But I just encourage you to Google search long-term recovery programs in your area and just make those phone calls, reach out to them, let them know that you don't have the means to be able to help your loved one out, that they don't have any type of resources either. And I promise you, you will find some out there that will help them out, and they won't charge the family for that. So that's a big deal, and that's a great way to start to be able to help someone that doesn't have those type of resources available. And then Hand Up to Victory, what we do is we help people with the sober living house option. So sober living houses, they typically have a weekly charge to them. Some I've heard of as low as $150. Some I've heard of as expensive as $250, $300 a week. So they definitely vary. They definitely vary in the level of care that's provided there. But again, there are organizations out there that do help your loved one to be able to get into the sober living house. Something great about Hand Up to Victory is what our organization does is we help with that financial start. So we help your loved one to get into a sober living home. And in case you don't know what that is, it's a place that they go where they live at, men with men and women with women. They live in an actual home, and it gives kind of half freedom. So you do have accountability there, but the idea is to help your loved one to get a full-time job, to be able to start their journey with recovery meetings, attending recovery meetings locally. Also, there is some accountability as far as there's chores to do at the house, to keep their area clean, and then also there is random drug and alcohol testing. So that's, very helpful, because if someone does come up positive for drugs or alcohol, they are asked to leave the home, and that's for the protection of the people there that are doing the right thing, so they don't have to be around someone who is high or drunk. And so what we do is we start with that process. We help them to get into a safe, sober living home. We help out with the financial start to that, material things. Our organization helps out with food, clothing, hygiene products. Cell phones is a big deal, because in this day and age, you need a cell phone to be able to put an application in and for a job, and also to be able to get a call back from that job. We also help out with IDs. It's another big thing that's needed. A lot of the people that we help, maybe your loved one experienced something similar, they don't have an ID or they lost it along the way. So they need to get another ID to be able to get a job. And then we also help with full-time jobs. So we know places that will hire convicted felons, companies that are willing to give people a chance at employment. So that's a big deal. But I just encourage you, maybe you're local, you reach out to us. We can provide you with some options, or maybe you just can research some organizations in your local area that help do the same exact thing that we just mentioned here. So I don't want you to lose hope. Right? There are options available out there. Don't think just because you don't have any money or you don't have any insurance that your loved one isn't going to be able to get any type of care. There are options out there. And so again, our hopes are that these videos bring some clarity, bring some information to you, and we're going to be praying for you, praying for your loved ones, and anything we could do to help, just please let us know. God has called us to something higher. Freed us from the slavery of addiction. Blessed us in so many ways.
Like it talks about in the Bible, that unity that's going to bring people to Christ.
When you pray those prayers from a place of desperation, no matter what is going on in my life, God has this covered.